Got laid off recently, so I moved back in with my parents. And I'm 26 now, but really, this is not how I thought life would be at 26. I have no job, no girlfriend. I'm living with my parents. And I just feel like I don't have life figured out yet. I feel like I still don't know what I'm doing, but I figure with all this free time that I now have, might as well do some work around the house and maybe put my engineering degree to use. So let's go do that.
So here's me fixing my faucet. I watched like one YouTube video on it and it looked pretty easy. I think you just take the old one out, put the new one in. So it should be pretty quick and simple. And here's my dad coming over to help because low key it was not that simple. And then we broke something. So yeah, I need to call a professional for that, probably. Time skip. My dad's friend came over and he fixed whatever we broke. So now I'm putting in the new faucet, which is literally just screwing it in from the bottom. So hopefully can't mess that up. And look at that. Easy peasy.
So, didn't super go according to plan, but that's life. Kind of like how getting laid off wasn't really the plan, but that's parallelism or life imitates art or whatever. But honestly, I didn't really love my job anyway, so wasn't that disappointed. People were great, like shout out my ex coworkers who are watching this, but I think job just wasn't really super aligned with what I wanted to do, like what I went to school for. I went to school for engineering, which is where I learned how to 3D print and use CAD and stuff like that.
And here I'm using CAD to make a little bar soap holder for the shower. So I'm making like three pieces: the inner part to hold the soap, and then a part to hold any water that collects, and then a way to drain it. But doing stuff like this is why I think engineering's cool and why I chose to study it in the first place. It's being able to use creativity along with technical skills to make something that's useful or design something cool. And that's partly why I went to grad school as well. I wanted to do engineering design, and I thought getting a master's could help me get into some of those roles where I have more creative liberties or more ownership over a project. I mean, that's like kind of the answer I tell people, but honestly, I kind of went to grad school just because I couldn't really find a job. But I think throughout college, grad school, and a little bit of work, I think I've learned a lot about how life typically doesn't go according to plan. I really thought I would go to college, meet a girl, get a nice stable job, and get married in my late 20s, and I'd have kids and live the American dream. But here I am, 26, and I'm nowhere close to where I thought I'd be.
But I think it's good. I think part of growing up is learning that life is really complex and it doesn't fit in my little box of how I think it should go. And I'm learning that everyone has their own journey and that God's plan for every person is unique and different. And so I'm trying to learn how to stop comparing myself to other people and stop comparing my life with theirs because it's just different and it's not better or worse. And I'm trying to learn how to trust in God's plan for my life. And I remember when I was at my last job and I was kind of unhappy with where I was at. And I remember asking God if I should stay and try to figure out how to be happy with what I had, or if I should quit my job, or if I should move back home, or if I should go back to school or whatever. And I felt like as I was praying, God was trying to tell me that no matter what I did, no matter where I went, that He'd be there with me.
And honestly, in the moment, it was kind of annoying to hear because I kind of just wanted God to make a decision for me. I wanted God to say, follow these 3 steps and I'll guarantee your success. But that's not really how life works. And honestly, he kind of did make a decision for me through me getting laid off. But I think that God ultimately gives us the free will to choose. I think the way that I see it is that God has this kind of overarching goal and this ultimate destination for me and for my life. But I think He allows me to choose the route that I take to get there. And sometimes I make bad decisions or I pick a bad route and there's a lot of obstacles and hardships in the way, or I get stuck in a ditch. But I think in those times, God offers me a hand and He clears away a little bit of the path for me. But even then, I'm given the chance to choose Him and choose to follow Him, or keep going down my stupid path, right? But I think through it all, no matter what I choose, He promises that He's always there next to me. And I think reflecting on it now, like that's very reassuring to hear, even though that's not what I wanted to hear in that moment. But life is difficult, and making these big life decisions is really scary. And more often than not, things don't go my way. But I'm thankful that the God who's in control of the universe loves me, that He cares about me, and that He's there with me every step of the way. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.